Okay. And we should be live, and as usual, a rough start because, man, it's been a while.
Stuff happens.
Yeah. So, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Would You Waifu, the talk show where two idiots, we two, talk about the waifu of the week. I'm Scamper Blaze, the host of this channel, and the guy in the hoodie to the left of me is Blackout.
Heyo, I'm the other idiot.
Yeah, so just to prevent you getting your hopes up, we're also just two idiots who have dumber headcanons and even dumber arguments.
Oh yeah, and now we have a world to put our dumb creations into.
I can't wait till we actually get to use that. Anyways,
Oh yeah.
today's week's subject is actually one of Blackout's favorites. So,
Oh hell yeah.
would you like to introduce us to today's subject?
Ah yes. Our today's subject is the Kobold, the mystery of. Wow, I can't even say that word because I'm so excited right now.
English, motherfucker, dost thou
one of-
speak it?
No, I don't. Because English is not language. It's three in a trench coat trying to be one language. Okay.
Touche.
But our kobolds, the better goblins, are this week's our waifu candidates for this week. What did we talk? What was the last episode, if we remember right? It was pixies, right?
yeah.
Pixies and fairies, right? Yeah.
Last episode.
We should catch that, guys. Because very interesting stuff happens when we talk about idiot stuff.
Wait, I think I kind of fucked up on something.
Yeah. Well,
Anyways,
let's get into it. So we're talking about kobolds this week, Scamper. So, Scamper, would you waifu a kobold?
I have one small question though before I answer.
Okay, but hear me the fuck out.
Fair enough.
There is so much to get to into our. But let's go with that question you just had. What you got? I am a superior knowledge of the kobolds. I am proficient in it, you could say.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I'm not sure what the kobold variant would be called, so I'm just gonna go with the probably the most well-known example of it. Would he have snitties?
I'm gonna say no. They would not, because they are not mammalian.
This was an opposite answer that I should seen coming, but I'm still listening.
They are reptilian by nature, as they are closely related to dragons, which we still need to talk about. That will be an interesting episode, comparing what they can do. Ugh.
Okay, so will dragons be like their own episode, or do you think we will actually
Oh,
get...
they gotta be their own episode, my man. They have to be their own episode. They're dragons.
Okay, fair enough.
So, I think basic biology as always, my man. Let's start with that, shall we?
Honestly, I think this week I'm mostly gonna be the student who tries to talk sass.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm gonna reject everything you say and continue on with my lesson. This eventually sends you to principal's office, which is still me, and then I get to beat your ass later in games later.
I would debunk that, but my gaming skills are not on the competitive level.
I was talking about in our tabletops, but video games too.
I know what I said!
Oh god. All right, our basic biology. I prefer our reptilian over to our Japanized furry beastmen variants.
Ah, like pulled from A Daily Life with Monster Girls.
Yes, she would be a more of a beastman in our world compared to a actual kobold.
Okay, so, like I said, my first experience with kobolds is the Japanese version, and don't interrupt me on this. Since knowing you, I've been getting subjected more and more to the skilled version, and that is starting to become the more dominant version when I hear the word kobolds.
Because they're the more English version. I don't think you really go to the Japanese version, and when they are used in Japanese literature, they're pretty much goblin levels. Which, to be fair, they all are, but you don't see goblins much in the isekais and such. unless they are the main subject.
That that time I got reincarnated as a slime.
Yeah.
Overlord.
Yeah.
There's
All
on
that.
there's honestly that is honestly a lot. Kobolds definitely are the lesser used ones in isekai animes.
Yeah, because they use the more furry variations in Japanese.
Not just in general, like even their
And
version of kobold is used less. I'm just saying.
yeah, it's not a common monster because they don't really know where to put it. Because if you're going to do like a goblin-like creature, you just use a goblin. Is the thing.
Yeah.
But kobolds are my favorite. I have some history with that. But they actually did you know our kobold actually came from German origins?
I mean, I actually did know this
It
one.
was it was a mischievous earth spirit that would pretty much pull pranks around the house. That is where the actual origin of kobold comes from.
I accidentally fucked up.
What you do?
I deleted the slideshow.
Oh no! Like full on delete or hide?
I don't know. Sorry. Well, I tried to fix it. But yeah, I actually was aware that what is the German origin kobold is what is now basically known as a gnome.
Yes. And then they were back. Kobolds appeared way back in 1971 in an expansion of a different game than Dungeons and Dragons, because Dungeons and Dragons came out in 1974. They actually appeared in 1971. Is our reptilian version of our kobolds.
Ah. One second. Let me just. I'm just gonna. Why is that?
1 second.
Okay. Please hold while I also try to fix the technical issues that I personally caused.
Alright, sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, but yeah. Our reptilian kobolds first appeared in 1971. Later back in Dragons, and that's where I was at.
Yeah.
I know so much that I don't need to know about kobolds. Anything. We really need to get to the biology of our creatures, but I keep sidetracking.
Yeah. Oh no.
But I am our basic little bipedal reptilian folks. Oh, that is way big. Ah.
Yeah. 1 second. Working on it.
Yeah. I will continue.
Yeah.
Yep. Our bipedal reptilians with 2 legs, slender tail, scaled, of course. Snout-wise, horns optional, but heavily implied.
Okay. So, when you say clothing implied, since you did mention their Germanic origin, I assume that you mostly imagine them in like Western clothing, like the West.
Well, I said the horns were implied, but clothing is implied since they are very communal creatures. They really only wear clothes for necessity, not for nudity reasons. Is why I would say that. But if you would see them in clothing, it would definitely be rag-like and scarves. Definitely, you would see them in Eastern clothing because there are desert variations of kobolds as well.
Which is fair.
So seeing them in Eastern clothing is not too far-fetched. But again, out of necessity, not socially.
Okay.
Yeah. I know too much about this. Anything else you want to ask before we continue on?
Okay,
Because
so
it's pretty easy to imagine what we got here.
okay, so since in D&D there's another mainly draconic race, the Dragonborn.
Dragonborn, yes.
Wait, never mind. You actually did specify that kobolds do have tails.
Yes, they do. Dragonborns do not.
Yeah.
Lizard folk are also another closely related group, but they have no relation.
Fix the
1 second.
slideshow.
I'm getting a call. 1 second.
That's all you will always see. Once you're back, the technical difficulties start pouring in. Okay, yeah, the Kobold slideshow should be fixed now.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
Oh, yeah, basic biology. Yeah. Any questions about that so far?
Okay, yeah. Would you say is the most common coloration of kobolds?
It would be a more brownish red, burnt sienna, if you want to be specific. Maybe.
Yeah, I was about to say because
That is the origin, but they do all come in various colors because of their draconic heritage, usually.
okay.
The basic red, white, blue, green, black, and all the metallics.
All right,
Silver, brass.
since we are talking about basic biology, we of course have to address some of the obvious one.
Mhm.
Warm-blooded or cold-blooded? Because
Cold-blooded.
I actually, since draconic, I'm actually gonna assume there is a little bit of thermal reactions inside of there, so I'm actually gonna say mixed. Like there are animals that are
I get what you mean.
yeah
But
yeah would think they actually would have like a internal source of heat regulation.
they
Though
they have draconic heritage, which doesn't really do much for their biology. It's more they actually would get wings, which is another thing. Subspecies of kobold, the dragon rock kobold.
all right.
Wing cousin variation.
Okay, so what would you say the biggest difference besides the wings would be in their biology
Compared to like a normal lizard or a human?
to a normal kobold? Like kobolds and what was the exact word?
Dragon rot.
Oh, dragon rot.
Yeah, with a W in there.
Oh, dragon what?
Rot.
Where's the W?
I get you in a second. Here's I'll put it in the Discord for you. Dragon rot. Yeah, that's how you spell it.
Alright, let's see how you actually pronounce it.
You don't pronounce it, but that's how you.
How you spell it? Oh, rot at. Okay, now I get it.
Yeah, dragon rot. Are there stronger cousin-related that are pretty rarely born, but when they are born, they are because they have a more direct connection to their dragonic bloodline compared to other kobolds.
Okay, but you're saying that a regular kobold could birth a dragon rot kobold, correct?
Yes.
So that would mean that the draconic gene is basically either a percentage or a recessive gene.
Yeah, you could in both ways. Honestly, just ways, but yeah. Yeah, a normal kobold can birth a dragon rot.
Okay, and uh, and you said that dragon walls are by definition stronger than a normal kobold, correct?
They again have a stronger connection to their draconic bloodline, so they have easier access to magic, and they live about 5 times longer than a normal kobold.
So 55 days.
Actually, if you're actually using days for kobolds, it would be more multiplicative because they live well past hundreds of years.
Ah, you probably also do.
Easily.
You probably do realize what I was referencing, don't you?
Yes, I do. If you were using that, but a typical kobold can live up to between 10 to 20 years.
Yeah. I actually have a pretty recent, like a couple months recent, experience with a kobold character in D&D.
Uh-huh.
They are considered to be mature starting 10 years.
Actually, about 6 years old.
Yeah, I mean 6 years, but it has been a while since I kind of played with that character. Like, it was two siblings, like not blood related. One was a goblin, one was a kobold, and they were always arguing who was the older sibling. Eventually, more people agreed that the goblin was indeed older. Hell, I even got the voice actor of Albedo from Genshin Impact to agree to that. Look, I will go far just to be petty to someone.
Alright, yeah. Fair. But no, normal kobolds live up to 10 to 20 years. Will live well past. Right up. They are egg birth for sure.
Yeah, no, normally I would try to come up with a counter argument to be devil's advocate, but honestly, with this one, I am at.
It's pretty clear cut here, being honest with you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are egg birth for sure, and they are able to walk from hatching a few hours after.
Is that okay? Is that canon or is that just your?
That is canon, and my personal opinion.
Honestly, I was gonna say
because with such a short timeline, they need to learn.
I mean, 10 years is not a short timeline compared to certain animals who don't walk on birth. It is just depending on what their culture is. Like, horses need to walk at birth because they are being birthed live in a open plains. There's not a lot to hide unless you can run.
Yeah, fair.
Considering kobolds definitely are more cave dwellers, I was trying to think of any example where it is not the case, but I honestly can't think of any.
They love the jungles. Anywhere where there's not much direct sunlight. Kobolds do not like sunlight.
Okay, fair enough. Jungles, but I'm gonna say preferably caves, like also caverns.
For sure. Caves and dungeons.
Okay, so if they're being born in a cave, I assume that that cave would be the kobold's territory, meaning that
you would think they would have territory. Kobolds are weak, man. Kobolds are very weak.
so are rabbits.
Yeah. Do rabbits have territories?
Yes, they're called burrows.
And things can get into those burrows and kill them like snakes.
Yes, I'm not, and that's also probably also the case with kobolds if they're weak. I'm just saying.
Oh yes, they are very squishy.
Yeah, but I would definitely say that they would have areas they would call their home. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, just for a matter of terminology, I would say, I'm just referring to that as territory. Like they have houses, nests that they would probably stay at. That's why I'm saying that, biologically speaking, I don't think that a kobold would actually be able to walk from birth, because there's not really no need to. If you have a cave, that would theoretically provide protection, because...
Like, they have homes, but other things also live in that home besides kobolds usually, is the thing.
Okay, so...
That's why a kobold's best bet is to surf under dragons for that protection.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm just thinking, biologically speaking, because their homes are major are the majority of just caves, they would not have the need or the room to evolve evolve to be born to learn how to 1 second to be able to walk when they are born just like that.
All right, I don't need to tell anyone, especially you, how much I love kobold.
I know.
But even I have to admit, they are so weak. A villager can kill them by
Yes.
themselves.
I'm
They
just
are so weak.
I'm just talking based on the laws of biology as we
They
know
are
it.
never safe. Is the thing.
Oh, I under. Oh, so they're just literally bottom of the food chain always.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are omnivores, but they're more opportunity scavengers. Honestly,
Yeah, I can definitely understand that, but
they'll eat anything if they can eat it.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay, so I'm like I'm not disputing most of the Kobold lore that you will bring me, but once it comes to biological facts based on
mhm.
how our world works, I will fight you on those bits.
90% of caves are inhabited by something. Is the thing. Kobolds don't have the luck of having their own cave most of the time, since they really can't protect it.
That is a good point, and I will alter my arguments based on that.
Hmm. Yeah, they can fight. It's not a good fight, but they can fight. They'll usually run away.
Might
if
in
it's the threat's too
might in
much.
numbers.
Yeah, they do have the pack tactics in D&D, but
All right.
one damage ain't gonna do nothing when he takes out 5 of you in one hit.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. At one point, kobolds will just run and just go make a new home in a new cave.
yeah.
I love kobolds, but I have to admit their weaknesses myself.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Oh yeah. But biologically speaking, anything else we want to talk about?
Okay. Depends on how much you still have planned to others, because I'm actually curious about some on a biological basis. Like, for example, tails. How close to lizards are they with when you think of the fact that certain lizards?
Detachable tails,
Yeah. Like, what's their
Uh,
regeneration like? Because as far as
crappy.
so
They are not regrowing a tail; they lose it. They do not lose those things on purpose.
okay, do their tails actually serve a purpose?
Balance.
Fair enough. Okay. And talking about their just teeth, since you said opportunistic, from what I've seen from kobolds, their teeth are more suited to be more carnivore-ish.
I, Again, they are serrated teeth for fucking sure,
Yeah.
for obvious reasons. But again, they are omnivores. They eat what they can get.
Yeah. Okay, do they? I'm now just thinking of nitty gritty, like with different reptiles. Do they chew their food, or do they just rip off chunks and go like crocodiles?
I think they would definitely have the intelligence to chew their food if they had time.
I mean,
But nothing stopping them from doing the whole swallow, my man.
all right. And and also with just digestion, like I assume we're going just with a simple one stomach, simple digestive tract.
Yes, yeah, very simple.
Okay. Slitted eyes or round irises?
I am a slitted eye family, honestly.
You know, I can definitely. Honestly, aesthetic wise, that is more pleasing, so I'm okay with just accepting that. Now, this
Like,
is.
I am fine with both, but I prefer slitted eyes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I will have another question, though. Would they have, like, the additional side lid? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. They would not.
Okay,
So
so.
there'd be no reason to have one.
Well, geckos have them, but I would say the desert ones would have it because it is a great way to get dust out of your eye and kind of have a transparent protection around your eyes.
Well, yeah, that's obviously kind of a regional variation.
Yeah.
Kind of thinking how they would adapt it to their own region. For sure, I can agree with that. But in general, not really. They don't need it. They can blink.
I mean, crocodiles have both, so it's a semi-lid and
Yeah.
then there's the outer lid.
Yeah, but they usually use the semi-lid for going underwater, right?
They do it when they are underwater, but they also do it.
Yeah.
It's always a semi-lid and then the outer lid when actual blinking.
They are attuned to the darkness, caves and caverns usually.
Okay, so actually, let's go to habitat.
Mhm.
Since you did mention like jungles, caves,
Yeah.
and deserts, I actually think that's because of their Germanic origin.
Mhm.
I think that's at least definitely compared to our other reptilian discussion subjects. Look at what lamias.
Yeah.
I honestly think they would be more in the temperamental.
Oh, they love the temperament regions.
Yeah, like I definitely think they would be more of a Europe-based species.
Mm,
They can definitely be spread out, but I'm just imagining compared to lamias, who we kind of placed in the Amazon deserts around the equator, they would be more in the northern hemisphere at least.
they would be more around the equator. Would honestly be the thing.
Hmm.
Is my thing. They're more like that. I think it's like a good. I'm trying to think of the mountain ranges that are around, because I think like the Himalayas are like around there, right?
Go Sensei!
Himalayas. Like I can definitely see them in like Africa, for sure.
Hmm.
Uh, they would love South America.
Okay, yes, South America I can definitely agree with, but I
And
honestly,
they have the mountain range down there too. So
well, no, actually, instead of specifically South America, I was gonna say they would love Mexico, but
yeah,
because you mentioned mountains, I do think that if we're placing them in South America, they would actually enjoy Peru more.
yeah, around there. Peru, the Chile area, probably around there.
Okay, so if they, since you said you are very biased towards cold-blooded, I would
Yeah.
definitely agree that Peru would be a great place for them to be, but culturally speaking, like I'm just thinking of where they came from. I honestly think.
And Nacho.
Okay, so what I honestly am imagining is they would, instead of having a very big horizontal degree spread, it would be more of a north
Vertical?
to yeah, north to south kind of spread, like from Europe all the way to South Africa. That is actually where I imagine them to be. Like not a lot in Asia.
So far, you want everything in Europe. I'm being honest with you here, my man. You wanted everything in Europe. So I am down with Peru, the Chile area.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not just saying Europe. I'm just saying the stretch from Europe to Africa, not specifically towards Asia and such.
Yeah, around there, maybe lower. Honestly, though.
Yeah, yeah, like
It would be more like Saudi Arabia and downward.
yeah, okay, so like, ooh, wait, what about Egypt?
Egypt is fine, I would say. Again, desert global variations.
Yeah,
But
okay, so I could definitely
not
see.
preferred,
Yeah,
but possible.
but when I said the north to south spread, Europe, Africa, that's kind of where I see not so much in Asia and America. But I will say Peru would be great. But
Central to South America. Central to South America. Down.
if they are on the American continent, yes,
Yeah.
we're not we're not giving the kobolds to Canada.
No.
Okay, but if we're putting them in the area I envision, then I do think that the color palette would be from north to south, going from red to green. Like the more greenish ones would be like in Germany, the Black Woods, while the more brown, reddish tints would be more in the desert areas of Africa. And then if you go back to the rainforest, Madagascar, they would be going back to the greenish hue.
You can see it like that, definitely. We're going for like a natural skin evolution there, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of influences like habitat and all that. Like there's an Arctic variation of kobolds too, technically.
And you still want to make them cold-blooded?
Yes. I said technically. They're crappy, but technically.
Tiamat wept.
Tiamat can suck my dick.
Which head?
All of them.
Fair enough. Anyways.
Anyway.
Single brain cell.
Bahamut alive.
Isn't Bahamut... wait, how's Bahamut related to Tiamat again?
He is the platinum dragon. Pretty much the opposite.
Oh yeah. Tiamat is the chromatic, while Bahamut is the metallic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha. Okay. Speaking of draconic, what since you did say that kobolds are related to dragons, would you say that they'd be more? And I'm just talking in general because I can see both of them. What do you think they would be more related to? Like more metallic or more chromatic?
Chromatic, but my bad. You would definitely see them more related to the chromatic. But it's definitely again an influence on which dragon bloodline they came from.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying the majority because I can see both.
Majority chromatic.
You know,
But there are both.
I was actually gonna make an argument with because of the majority of kobolds I've seen in both D&D, fiction, games. I would honestly say they would be more related to like the brass or copper dragons. And this,
Not really.
I would also say red, but I'm mostly saying towards the fire-breathing dragons based on what I see.
The kobolds just general personality of nature is just they are very chaotic creatures.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are chromatics, man.
I will agree with you, but I'm just saying based on what I've seen.
Yeah, but you haven't seen enough then.
No, I have not. Put more kobolds in your games.
Alright, I'm gonna go kill you with a fuse. Right now, go down. Action economy is a thing.
Yes, it is.
Off topic there again.
Anyways, you don't need action economy to kill me. You need me to kill me.
I mean, we can stop rolling once for God's sakes.
I can make no promises. Orange Beelzebub is a fickle mistress. Alright, so... okay.
There?
Anything else that we actually need to discuss when it comes to the biology of kobolds?
No, they are pretty simple to understand creatures, honestly. You don't gotta go too in depth. No stingers, wings. Well, they do have wings, technically. That's only on some. But those are, how should I say it? Because dragon wings are not, a common wing you would see nowadays. So,
Yeah.
if I could relate them to any of today's wings, it would be more closely related to like the bat wings with the leathery stretched between leathery membrane between outstretched. You get what I mean though? I can't find a word.
Yeah, okay, so there's actually a difference between how birds have their wings and how bats do their wings. Like,
Yep.
a bird basically goes up and down while a bat makes more of a circular motion, like swimming through the sky, like he's just grabbing the air with his hands.
Yeah, but again, if we were to relate them to like a modern animal, it would be more bat-like than bird-like.
Okay, so their wings would be more in a circular motion.
Yeah, they're definitely curved. Sure.
Now, when I say circular motion, I just mean like,
How they fly.
there's the difference between what people do when they do like the chicken dance. That's just simple wedging, like versus the breast crawl.
Ah. Yeah, but yeah, I agree with you on that one part. So.
Yeah, so you would say it's more like the breast scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, the dragon wings aren't really meant for flying much. They're more of a sign of pretty much. They would be like nobility for kobolds, honestly.
Ah.
Having wings is like you're pretty much like a king automatically. Like you're a duke on like easily if you're born with wings.
Oh. Okay, this is semi-biology, semi-culture.
Mhm.
What's a group of kobolds actually called?
Ways. Or do we want to make up our own number or not number, our own name?
Yeah, that is always fun to do. Like,
a hive of fairies.
yeah.
Or what was it? It was a court of court of harpies. Yeah, court of harpies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would we call a group of kobolds?
Well, with the dragon nature, I like to call them a horticobold. That's why I just tend to. You don't have to agree with it, but that's like my default to a horticobold.
I'm not hating it, but I don't love it.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like a default kind of thing. It's like there's a horde.
Yeah.
It's very simple, dragonic related. Yeah, well, that's why I stick with it. If you have any other ideas, let me know. But
I kind of like. Okay, this is just a personal preference, but I kind of like the sound of a shed of kobolds.
A shed of kobolds.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do shed. Is the thing. Kobolds do shed.
Yeah, that's kind of why I just kind of like the sound of it.
I'm not on it though. I'm gonna be honest with you here. I'm not on that.
Understandable. Like, I honestly just kind of like the way it sounds, but it doesn't really have much weight to it.
Mhm.
Like, I will say it is. Yeah, it is it's not as good as Horde, but it still has a nice ring to it.
They're just a group of gaggle fucks, my man. There's not much.
A gaggle of kobolds.
A gaggle of kobolds.
Nah.
Like I was testing it in my head and it's just not fitting.
Yeah, a cluster of kobolds would be better.
Even then, I personally I'm going to stick to my horde of kobolds.
which is totally fine. If I come up with something better, I will let you know. But for now.
Or we make another scientific discovery about naming it.
Oh God.
That's what we're just gonna call those outburst moments, like cowboy vampires, scientific discoveries.
Our eureka moments.
Sure. Yeah, that's just be more of a social thing. Groups. There's not really a good group name. There's tons of names out there, but.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Ooh, what about a pit of kobolds? Okay, among my suggestions, how would that one rate?
It's better than the others, I'm being honest, but it's still
Like-
just not there. It's not. You get what I mean?
Like, I'm scratching at the door, but I'm not reaching the doorbell yet.
Yeah. We're gonna be stuck on this if we continue thinking. Being honest.
Yeah, probably.
All right. All right. Well, I can bring up some other stuff about kobolds, like
Oh hell yeah!
very adept trap makers.
I
like,
wouldn't say
any version D&D, they are proficient in making any traps.
Okay. Well, I will not say like proficient, because
Oh, they are. They have proficiency when making traps.
no, I mostly mean like quality based. I will admit,
Oh, yeah.
they are very original. Like creativity, yes.
Honestly, they can make anything into a trap. If it's a good trap, that's a different opinion. But it's a trap.
Considering what we're talking about, that is a whole different subject. They could turn anything into a trap.
Trapanizing people.
Oh God, their fate. Okay, so
yeah.
so Stitch kind of tried to ruin the
Mhm.
the Kobolds Goblin dynamic that I mentioned before, like who's the older sibling.
Yeah.
He kind of came with the fact that technically kobolds don't have a what we consider to be a binary gender, since there would be hermaphrodites.
No, they would have a binary gender.
I am so happy I can say that to Stitch.
If Stitch wants to, he can catch these hands. That's all I'm gonna say. If he wants to fight a kobold expert on this, fight me. Fucking
Ooh.
fight me.
Very, very tempted to send him a DM to see if it works.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, before
Kobolds do have genders. One side lays eggs. The other has to inseminate the eggs. Fertilize would be a better.
you know what? Yeah,
Alright.
actually, that brings up a decent point with biology. So what kind of fertilization process do they have? Like what we consider to be like breeding, or would it be more like how fish do it, like lay the egg, fertilize later?
No, it'd be internalized more a thing.
Okay,
Kobolds don't have the energy just to lay just dead eggs. Is the thing.
fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough, but since I was just considering it since you did put them very low on the.
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. I'm fine, but
Yeah,
it's internalized.
okay. Considering they reptiles, I assume that their eggs aren't as hard.
Oh, no. The thing about some basic kobold lore for you. A pregnant female can lay an egg within 2 weeks.
And
About 1 out of every 10 pregnancies, I want to say, can lead to 2 eggs.
okay, so
And
what is
They incubate for about 2 to 3 months.
Okay, when you say incubate, you mean externally incubate, right?
Yeah, externally incubate, yes.
Okay, and what would be the refractory period between different layings? Like, how long would they realistically need to rest before they again like put another
About a
omelet in me?
About another month.
Okay, so
Again, it's a pretty fast process. They can grow fast if you just let them fester. Is the thing.
okay, so
Also,
I'm just trying to.
about the eggs.
Oh.
Sturdiness is. I was going to answer that question earlier about how sturdy they are. They're not particularly sturdy unless it's a dragon rot egg, and that's kind of like a special egg. They need to take. That's a different process for those eggs. But a broken egg, the fetus could still survive for 15 days
Oh,
inside the egg. Yeah.
roachy
So
little
if you break
fuckers.
Yeah. So if you're going to break an egg, really break the egg. Don't just crack it.
Okay, yeah, but when I said sturdiness, I mostly meant like hardness. Like, considering
Yeah, not very.
considering they can survive 15 days outside the shell, I would say they are very sturdy. But they're not very hard. They're more like stretchy, soft shells, right?
Yeah, kind of like reptilian eggs, for sure.
All right. Okay, so if you would rate them between okay, frog eggs being on the lowest tier when it comes to hardness, and on the highest tier, I'm gonna put a ostrich.
Snake egg? Oh, it's around a snake egg.
Okay, so all right, around snakish. Would you say slightly harder or slightly softer?
Slightly harder.
Hmm.
But still almost as malleable.
Ah.
There's a thickness to it, more thicker.
Okay,
but
so
it's-
how
you know what I
big
mean?
how big is a kobold egg, and how big is it when it hatches?
One second, because we didn't even talk about how tall a kobold is, because they're between 2 to 3 tall, honestly.
Yeah, they
Kobold.
yeah. I wasn't gonna make them reach my rib cage.
Yeah, they're about 2 to 3 feet. Which is about 60, 74 centimeters.
I would make them I would make them like a meter at most. Well, honestly, I can see.
Like 3 feet. That's 3 feet. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I can see about 3 feet, 4 feet at most.
It's between 2 to 3 feet. Again, there's always exceptions, but
Yeah.
general range 2 to 3 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. I also wrote their weight down there. Around 35 to 50 pounds, which is like 16 to like 25 kilograms. Your conversion.
Ah, thank you very
Know what I
much.
mean? Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, like, and they're. But how big would they be? How big would the eggs be, and how big the the hatchlings be? Was my next question.
The egg itself would be. Let me convert it, please. 1 second. Would be. I don't want square feet. I just want.
Okay, so name an ob.
Uh,
Okay, so let's use an object we both know the canon size of.
Ah.
What about if you compared it to a PlayStation 5 controller?
Oh, it's bigger.
Okay,
It's about 1 foot or about 0.3 meters, wherever that leads.
okay. I'm just trying to think of a visual.
Mm-hmm.
Like bigger than. Would it be bigger than my fist?
Yeah, way bigger.
Okay.
Think about from the end of your hand to like halfway up to your elbow, around there.
Okay, wait. With hand outstretched or as a
Yeah,
fist?
stretch your hand out. Stretch your hand out,
Okay.
and from like the tip of your finger to like the middle point between your hand and your elbow.
Okay, so if I'm using that measurement and
Mhm.
look at the
Around there.
yeah, if I look at that and then at the ratio of how big a kobold is,
Mhm.
we're kind of having a Kiwi situation over here, don't we?
About. That's why they like it's only like 1, maybe 2 at a time. 1 second.
Okay. Well, that's a mental image for me. Just one of those tiny little lizards going. Whoop. Fuck. Just rolling around. Huh. I actually expected that he would say that the eggs were like 2 tennis balls, but he surprised me with eggs that were honestly way bigger. I still love this little music going on. I just love the sound.
I will be haunted by my actions forever. Hoot hoot!
Sorry about that. Someone interrupt.
No worries. I was honestly expecting, like, considering how big a kobold is for a
It's about a third of the size, honestly. Around a third of the kobolds.
yeah. I was honestly I was just thinking about what would by a lot, since it's malleable eggs, they could grow honestly a pretty good size inside.
Yeah, it wouldn't really hurt them that much to have that big.
So you're saying they have. So you are going with the type that has wide hips,
Yeah, sure. Why not?
or basically like how snake jaws work, but for the hips.
Why not?
Which one would be honestly?
Unhinge that mouth, my man. I'm not talking about your upper one.
Oh god, we're actually applying hentai logics to the kobolds here.
They are
When dealing
waifu.
with short stacks, please make sure that porn physics are in place.
Do your research before you deal with your short stacks. Injuries may happen.
And we're not saying to who.
Yeah.
Anyways, I was on. My mental image was honestly a lot smaller. I was thinking at like 2 tennis balls sized if it is like a comfortable berth.
No. It's a decently sized because they are pretty malleable and able to ship. And when they're laid, they'll be incubated outside, of course. But again, they grow very fast.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't mentioning like smaller eggs. But
They don't.
like I believe you that they would be like from the tip of my middle finger to halfway to my elbow.
Yeah.
Like it would be like a Herculean task if I'm like sizing my body down, like, because right now that is already almost just to my belly button.
That's why it's one, maybe two, at a time.
For a kobold, that was just rearrange their lungs, like, you go over here, the heart will just go literally in your throat.
Kobolds die fast and they reproduce fast, man. They're,
Yeah,
dying while birthing is probably not uncommon. That's what you hear.
okay, okay. Another thing that I'm actually kind of curious about with, like, how big would, so back to the question, so with eggs that size, compared to an adult kobold, which is like, let's just say a nice 3 feet,
Yeah.
how big would a fresh hatchling be?
It wouldn't be not much bigger than the egg, so about a third of that meter.
Ah, fair enough.
Yeah, it would just be right around that size. Yeah. So about third of the kobold. About a foot tall, so that's like up to your shins, upper half of shins, maybe at knees, somewhere around there. I think it's shins. It's very hard to gauge it sometimes.
Yeah. As a
But they are small.
yes, they are. Okay.
Like a compy, the dinosaur, the compies. What I'm talking about. Small.
Ah, you mean those colorful?
You know from Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Small little raptor like little guys that come in many numbers. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking of those. Remember once out of the world those little flying birds that was in the ancient forests?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Those blue things.
I don't know the name. I'm gonna be honest. I think I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name.
Flying something something.
I am not even going to pretend I know, my man. So
Yeah.
you might as well continue with your topic here.
Anyways, yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of kobolds, and I mean a lot, have like head spikes, horns,
Mm-hmm.
spines.
Yeah.
At what point do you think they would start growing those?
I think they would start taking maybe little bumps when they're coming out of the egg, but then they would start taking form as their bodies would start growing out to their full adult-like form over a few years.
Okay, so it would take a couple years for them to form, is what? Okay, yeah, I can definitely agree with that. Okay, so next is something that is probably going to be important since we, with the, like lamias and all the other stuff, we kind of talked about mating rituals when it came to these creatures.
Yeah.
Okay, so want to dive
None.
into that one, or is there still something that you want to address?
No, there is none.
All right. Wait. When you say there's none, there's nothing you want to address, or there's no mating rituals.
There's no mating ritual.
They just fuck.
They just like to fuck.
Okay, so but is there any qualities you would say would be more attractive in a mate for certain kobolds?
Do you have the opposite genitalia?
And that is optional, I assume.
No, no, that's pretty much the limit.
Oh, so you're saying that kobolds are mainly heterosexual?
Really? Yeah.
Ah, I was about to make a comparison to the bonobo, but I guess that's not the case.
Yeah.
They're not.
That's pretty-
They don't like to fuck that much.
Like they don't care about love. Honestly, they just fuck.
Okay, and
They don't make love. They fuck.
Max, your dad doesn't make love. He fucks.
Relationship-wise, they don't care.
Ah.
Sexual-wise, breeding. Breed me.
Okay.
So you can literally say submissive and breedable. Honestly, with kobolds. They literally fit that to a fucking T.
Okay. Okay, and then there's also the there's also then the task for childcare. Is that done by the actual parents, or is that just a
It's
class?
communal childcare usually.
Hmm?
It's communal childcare, especially if a dragon rot egg is ever born, and you can tell they're born because they'll be speckled with the colors of the dragons. That's the difference between a regular kobold egg and a dragon rot egg.
Yeah, what color is it? Is there like a pattern on a kobold egg? Like, does it have spots? Is it just smooth?
Usually not really. That's more artist rendition kind of things, but usually scales. You got scales, my man. The horns may be different usually, but again, that's just race variation.
Yeah,
It's probably
no,
not gonna be that different depending on the parents.
no, I was actually legit just talking about the eggs. Like, certain birds have one color egg, some have just spots on them, some are actually just blue.
They're pretty standardized. Egg white. Being honest, my man, pretty standardized egg white. But the dragon white eggs are speckled with the color of their dragonic heritage. Like you'll know if it's going to be like a black dragon rot or a
Okay,
copper
so-
dragon rot because it will be speckled with that coloring of that
Okay,
dragon.
so dragon rot kobolds have markings, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they're speckled.
Okay, okay.
While a regular kobold egg will just be smooth, plain.
Okay, so I'll be honest, I don't think that a kobold egg would be white. I can definitely agree with.
I'm not saying like pure white, like off white. What I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think they're in the white spectrum, if I'm being honest.
What color do you think they are?
Okay, so I'm basing this on the fact on how low they are on the totem pole of food. Sorry, the food chain. What I honestly think is based on their habitat. Like, the desert ones would have more brownish, while the cave ones would have a more gray, or at least to kind of match the rocks that they were born next to.
I mean, sure, man, but they do have special incubation. They do have special chambers for incubating eggs, and there is a special chamber for the dragon rot egg.
Oh yeah, dragon rod eggs are a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I'm considering how low they are on the food chain, they would have evolved in some defense methods, and I think camouflaged eggs with a little bit of natural camouflage would be a very easy one for them to have.
No problem with that, honestly. So that's fine. Yeah. But I tell you about dragon rot eggs. You tell me about being put on a pedestal, my man. You were being put on a pedestal.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay, this is actually this is just a culture question. Does the one who laid a dragon rod egg get preferential treatment?
It's not really discussed, but most likely no.
Huh. I would at least assume that they would gain more perks.
Well, you see, the thing is, they fuck around so much they don't know who the combination will.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The one who laid the egg.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they fucked around so much to get pregnant, they don't know who the opposite half is to make that happen again.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. The one who laid the egg is probably getting more perks because they don't know who is the fucking father. And we haven't even really evolved their culture. We are just having them at tribal level at this point.
Mm-hmm. So, fair enough, they are. Fine.
Yeah. Okay, so are we gonna speak about their culture now?
Anything else we missed or want to circle back?
Okay, 1 second. Let me just think real quick. Let's see. I talked about eggs. I was curious about. I talked about potential features that would be attractive. You just said, nah. As long as they have opposite genitalia. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there, and this might cause controversy if people actually watch this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
do kobolds only have two genders?
Like, do you mean in the social term, the physical? I will ask that because this is a sensitive question. So do watch this kind of stuff.
You know what?
In the social term, they don't care.
Okay, physical
In
term.
the physical term, they do care.
Yeah.
There's only two genders.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
that's how they breed.
fair enough. But is there like any homosexuality? Or is it literally just, hi, I have an X chromosome. Hi, you have a Y chromosome. Alright.
Honestly, females aren't that picky, so it's not really like, it can happen. I'm not saying it can't, but
Yeah.
you get what I'm trying to get here.
You know what, yeah, there's actually another question. Now,
It's so easy to get it that why not just get it if you need to?
yeah, that's why
You know what I mean?
that's why I was about to compare them to bonobos, but they're not that fuck free.
Yeah.
So I do have one more question regarding their biology that I forgot about.
Mhm.
So let's say a human would wander into a group of kobolds. How easy would it be for him to differentiate that's a guy, that's a girl? Without picking them up by the tail and seeing, let's see what's beneath this bush.
At first glance, like a quick glance, very fucking hard to tell. Being honest with you here.
Okay, so okay, gotcha. So very similar for a non-kobold.
Yeah. It's like if you actually do take the time to look, you can figure it out. But if you just looked at them, like, nah, I don't know, kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Because yeah, there's not much difference. Like the female might have wider hips, like we've mentioned before.
Or just the
An extended stomach, maybe if they're already carrying an egg.
yeah.
But other than that, not much.
Okay, so that would mean that, physically speaking, all tests could be performed. Well, all labor could be performed by both genders. Like, both could hunt, both could work, both could build, yada yada yada.
It needs to be both for their survival, my man.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, again, not very strong creatures, so someone has to fill in the fucking gaps. If you're not just stating an egg right now, get to work, kind of shit.
Oh god, they're communists.
No, they know if the work doesn't get done, they'll probably die. Is the thing.
Oh god, they're Amish.
But yeah. So.
Okay, so visually, there's not a lot of difference between the genders. Understood.
Mhm.
Okay. Now their culture, like, how far would you think they would be able to develop their culture? Like, centaurs, we got up till medieval, potentially cowboys because of guns.
They resisted at the same time.
I still think they would be more like Japanese samurai era, because that make the more you
Still
think.
at the same time.
Was I really around the same time?
Yeah, they all existed at the same time.
I am not gonna.
Cowboys, knights, and samurais all existed at the same time, my man.
Yeah, but I still think that centaurs would be more of a samurai culture compared to our medieval culture. Yeah, that's something we can agree to disagree upon.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about centaurs today.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So, if given the chance to develop, how far do you think they would go?
Before they kill themselves.
I mean, wait. Do you
they-
mean by choice or by action?
Actions.
Does that ever stop? That is still going on even for us.
I am not saying give a kobold gunpowder and results may vary. That's all I'm saying. results may vary. But yeah, they're definitely tribal for fucking sure. If we want to go further than that, metalwork is fine, but not highly advanced.
Okay, so if we're talking about culture, there is actually something
Hmm.
I kind of can see happening.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like a gypsy culture, like, but I honestly can't.
I just thought of one. That's amazing.
Ooh, drop it on me.
So you know how we had them in like Puerto Rico, South America region? I said it earlier. Aztecan culture.
I am okay. 1 second.
I feel like it fits so much to them.
Okay, 1 second. Yeah, the idea is growing on me.
Like Aztec, Mayan, all that, sacrificing to their dragon god.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly, I actually am starting to love the idea of. Oh, this is not even.
Simple-
This is not
simple
even
white
a.
stone building.
This
Yeah.
is not even a. I don't hate it moment.
Yeah,
This is just
yeah.
a. Huh. Yeah.
I thought about it like a Hispanic culture, like Mayans. Ah, there's my Eureka moment. Fucking Aztec culture. Aztec Mayan.
Oh, sorry. I'm just now just thinking of a Kobold telenovela.
Yeah, the feathered and flowy clothing, just the general construction is very simple. That even kobolds could do it.
Okay.
As well.
Okay, small
Uh-huh.
question, and I am actually hoping for a specific answer because then I can make,
Hmm.
then I can just make a specific joke. In a group, sorry, in a horde of kobolds, I still haven't come up with anything better.
Yeah.
Who would be the one, quote unquote, in charge?
The oldest usually.
But would that most? Do you think that?
Whoever didn't die last.
Okay, so do you think guys or girls would live longer?
Yes.
I mean, I can both see there being like a practice, but statistically speaking, I do think that the woman would be more survival prone because they actually have to lay the eggs and take care of them, or at least incubate them.
Everyone takes care of the eggs.
I know, but
they just gestate the eggs for a certain amount of time. Once they laid it, it's like, all right, everyone, time to take care of the eggs.
yeah, but while they're gestating, I don't think they are moving around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna assume statistically the oldest most of the time is female.
Yeah, you can see it that way. No problem there.
So can we just call the head of a horde of kobolds the abuela?
Sure.
Sorry, I just really.
Le chocolat.
Yeah, I just love that. I just fucking love that idea of a kobold running around with a slipper.
And they would use anything as a weapon, including a chocolate.
Yes, Latino kobolds.
I'm on board now.
Fuck yeah.
Woo woo, all aboard. Alright.
Oh, okay. Sorry. This is just a mental image that I think would look both adorable and kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
A draconic themed Dia de los Muertos.
Oh yeah, they would definitely can paint themselves up and everything. Basic paints made from berries or other plants, such. Make
Oh,
dyes.
wait. Even the ashes of like bone charcoal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Anything as a weapon, my man. Anything.
Okay. So
They
out of
are very green. Being honest, everything is recyclable.
okay, that is actually that is the goblin mentality.
Yeah, but these are the better goblins, though.
Hey, I stand by what the quote says.
Oh, yeah, yeah, you are wrong.
Hey, it's your quote.
Yeah, it's my quote. But why'd you put the wrong things? So it's wrong. You're wrong. So yeah.
Eh. Okay, sorry, but I'm now just imagining like just Dias de los Muertos with giant dragon floaties. Like I'm definitely very much on board with Latino kobolds.
Yeah.
Okay, just for that, I'm moving them further down south from just the.
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm definitely removing them from Norman. Well, okay, no, wait.
Normandy.
Normandy is not.
D-Day Kobold, let's go.
Yeah, Normandy is not the correct one. Like, Scandinavia.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm okay with removing them from Scandinavia and making them travel more towards Spain and such.
Yeah. But no, yeah, our Latino kobolds.
Oh god. Oh, what would they be in Terra Lapis?
Their plane? I don't know yet.
No, just what would a kobold's role be in this school? Because if it's a female, there's gonna be a lot of problems. Because all right, that is something we will have to address later.
Mathematics.
Are we gonna
Engineering.
Magicraft? No, okay, that's a little too much.
Kobold engineering, my man.
Okay, small question. In our world, how adept in engineering are we actually gonna make them?
I think just like basic like a pulley system definitely fine to give them.
Okay, so like high school physics.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually kind of okay with that.
Unless they're the special vulnerable ones. Yeah.
Okay, wait.
That's a whole different fucking story.
Okay. We kind of discussed their breedability, but is there a difference between how much a dragonrot kobold wants to reproduce? Would they be more picky or would they be more indulgent?
They would be more indulgent because a dragonrot kobold has a higher chance of producing more dragon kobold than a normal kobold.
Ah.
If it was like 1% chance for a kobold, it's like a 10% chance for a dragonrot.
That, considering with how much you say they breed, that is still a lot of dragonrots.
Yeah, again, you let them breed, they will fester, and it will become a problem.
I will say that, honestly, genetically speaking, with how rare you describe dragonrots to be, I would say it would be 5% at most.
Sure, I'm not too picky about that percentage, but I'm just saying it's a higher chance.
Oh yeah, I can definitely agree with that they would have a higher chance of making the rare kind.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume the offspring of the dragon would be the same as the first dragonrot, let's say.
Yeah, the bloodline's pretty consistent, being honest.
Alright.
Yeah, whatever bloodline they did come from, they will inherit that.
Okay. Okay, since I did mention Terra Waifus, how would they and you also mentioned that their best bet is to be basically servants. They never really are quote-unquote alone in their cave. How would they interact with human culture?
Well, if we exclude just the D&D monsters are evil kind of talks, of course.
Of course.
Pretty social. They are curious, very curious.
So you would
curiosity killed the kobold, my man.
Okay, so I think harpies and centaurs are our most integrated races so far, like most commonly seen in human culture so far.
Yeah.
Where would you rate kobolds? Pixie, I think pixies so far are the least integrated.
Lower end, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of around the middle, being honest. Like, if there's a settlement nearby, they might travel, investigate, and see what's going on and all that. But they're like nowhere near them, like 20, 30 miles away. I don't know how much that is, but if they're a good distance away, yeah, they won't care.
Okay. So would you say above or below Lamia? Because I'm honestly gonna think above it.
Oh yeah, they're above for sure.
Yeah.
Like again, if there's a chance to, they will. But if there's not, they don't care.
Okay, so if we're doing like a 1 to 10 skill, I'm gonna.
Like a solid 6 or 7.
Yeah,
on
I
the
was.
susceptibility scale.
I was honestly gonna say. I was honestly gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say an 8. When it comes to probability that they would integrate in human society, like.
How well they integrate, that's another.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different story.
There will be an attempt if it's possible, but I'm not saying it's a good attempt.
They're willing to try a lot,
Like,
but if they succeed, that is a whole different story.
I mean, kobolds will do about anything, my man. They are a pretty subservient race.
Yeah.
It's meant like if you can guarantee their protection, they'll pretty much do anything for you.
Okay, so if we use Harry Potter as an example, would you compare them to the house elves or or something else?
They would be treated with more respect than the house. I'll tell you that.
Is that because this is your world or because?
Yes, both.
Fair enough. Like sometimes you just gotta be like, I love kobolds. We treat them good.
A kobold will fuck you up if it's like house elf is so. You get what I mean? It's so down. It's not going to do anything to you unless you give it a sock. God damn it. But no, a kobold will fucking fight back if it feels threatened.
Okay, so they're
And if
basically.
that doesn't work, they'll run.
Okay, so they're like cats.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And back to both their combination of their breedability and their interracial curiosity.
Yeah.
How often do you think there's crossbreeding? Okay, let me rephrase that. How many attempts do you think there are, and how many successful cases do you think there are?
Plenty of attempts. Plenty.
Fair.
Plenty. Successful? Not really at all. Honestly, for crossing the genes pool. And that's how dragonborns are made. Oh god.
Because there's a dragon in your family?
What?
No, my uncle fucked a kobold.
Oh god. Oh god. What a can of worms. It's fucking open.
I mean,
You know what? If we go with dragonborns existing, I am willing to accept crossbreeding. I hate that I have to admit that.
I assume this is not a I don't hate it, but a genuinely, why did I agree to this bit?
I just hate it, but I agree to it. This is not I hate that I don't hate it. I do hate it.
Fair
I
enough.
agree to it.
Fair
This is a
enough.
spiteful agreement. It's like, if
Yeah.
you're willing to accept the crossbreeding, dragonborns can't exist.
Okay.
Because if you're fucking a dragon, you're getting a half dragon. And that's another way to get dragon. Technically.
Okay, so how
Unless
do we actually get from dragons to kobolds? That is something I'm curious about.
There's plenty of myths. Like, there's the very high fantasy that where dragons are like these all-powerful beings, almost similar to gods, that they have the power to create their own living beings, kind of stuff. That is one of the mythos surrounding goblins, that they created their own subservient
Oh.
races.
Yeah, I sometimes have a headcanon in a completely homebrew system where the term dragon just means ascended being.
But you get what I mean, that the
Yeah.
mythos of a very powerful dragon just able to create life, and they create... Like,
Ah.
the ego of a chromatic dragon is nothing to fuck with, man. They have the biggest egos. Like, if you want, if I take the words of a bridge Vegeta, I am the hype. That is a dragon in a nutshell.
Oh yeah, I can totally agree with that. Even with
That is the chromatic dragon's hype.
even with the difference of exposure that I've had compared to you, even I know that.
Like, a dragon doesn't have the power of the gods, but damn well they believe they are. I will tell you that. But yeah, they would. There's definitely the mythos they created this subservient race to serve them as well. They could say it was. There's also the mixtures of races. A dragon polymorphing into a race, like a human, and a human birthed this creation. And you know how creations are always banished from their village, and then yeah, that actually happened.
Okay, there's actually a dragon polymorph shitpost that I love. What are you? Half dragon. What's the other half? Other dragon. So you're a full dragon. Not exactly. What? So my mother is a silver dragon who polymorphed into a woman. She slept with a army general, but she didn't know that that army general was a polymorphed dragon. They just gave me the shittiest bits.
Yeah. I think I saw that. Yeah, but yeah, there's plenty of mythos out there of how they were originally created.
Okay.
There also the mythos of them being a failure of a dragon's egg, pretty much.
Ah.
They're the breedjects, if you would be considered that.
The low IV ones. Got it.
The low OEV non-shinies, yes.
Very well, the wonder trade.
But you get what I mean. That's another mythos. They were runts
Okay.
of the litter.
Okay, so
But pick your favorite. I'm being honest with you here.
okay, so out of the options that you've presented right now,
Those are the most viable ones that I've seen around.
I know, but with the ones you've presented, my favorite of the bunch is the one where the dragons just created a race to be below them.
Yeah. I'm not fighting on you because it's believable.
Yeah,
Depending how strong we make dragons in a future episode.
I
Save
honestly
this
don't
back for later.
like. I'm honestly see a very high power ceiling when it comes to dragons.
Oh yeah, Apex. Apex.
Yeah, I can see them from being just absolute menaces to being, oh dear God, reality just got fucked.
Yeah. Let's continue on from our.
So, considering their personality, I assume they tend to be quote-unquote lower class in mixed societies.
Yes. Again, unless you're Dragon Rot or a vulnerable kobold who actually has had the time to live that long to actually make something of himself in a society, yeah, they're going to be pretty low class.
Yeah. Okay. I just kind of went back to what we discussed about kobolds, and then now I'm just imagining a kobold in a sombrero and a poncho.
El Grande Nacho.
They call me La Chupacabra.
So you eat goats, so you suck off goats? No!
Only when they pay enough.
Looks actually pretty good, though. Oh, no, no!
Okay, honestly prefer the cheese over the milk.
I was just making a joke there.
I know, but it's dairy, and I'm Dutch.
Yeah. Goat cheese pizza? Amazing, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, goat cheese is pretty good in snacks. Like, mozzarella is pretty good.
No, I'm on you with the goat cheese, my man. On certain foods, it is great.
Yeah, it is great in snacks. Like, one time in Britain, I had, like, fried goat cheese. Like, it was just basically goat cheese that they deep fried.
Yeah, I know. Fried cheese.
Like, the
Cheese
texture...
ball.
like, the texture was weird, but it was fucking good.
The taste really threw me off when I first tried it, but
Yeah,
I am a texture guy. I was fine with the texture, so.
yeah,
But
it is
the taste
just...
that threw me-
It was...
It's definitely an acquired taste, I would say. Though.
Oh, yeah. It is... The texture for me was just... Is it solid? Is it, like, liquid? Like, I wasn't quite sure what to make of... Well, this particular... It might have just been this particular dish.
Yeah. Well, let's continue on, though.
So, yeah, sorry, I...
Because I don't think we're getting cheese from our kobolds.
I mean, they can probably work, like, with the cattle to make the cheese, but
Oh, yeah.
but we're not milking the kobolds.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Since they're reptilian, are they venomous?
No.
Okay, so if I have to compare them to a real life reptile, it would be like either the salamander or the gecko.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah, got it. So not really venomous, just
There.
yeah. Okay, there is actually something about their biology that we did discuss with certain other races. Stature. Do you think that they? Okay, one of the picks is basically them just standing right up, or do you think they are more like hunched over, like basically between just human walk and just the raptors from Jurassic World? What do you think the angle of their torso is?
Being honest with you here, it's gonna be kind of a mix of both because we got different kinds of kobolds as well. The basic kobold standing straight up. There's nothing holding them from standing straight up. Being honest with you here, but our dragon rots and our vulnerables, they definitely will develop a hunch over.
Okay, so if the raptors are like just 0 degrees, humans are 90 degrees. You think they? Would you say they're average? And I'm just saying
Yeah, averaging it. Yeah.
they're
If they
okay.
have the hunch.
The average type would be like 40, 45 degrees, or would it be more on? Wait, would it be closer to the straight or to the raptor?
Closer to the straight because again, they have to develop over time is the thing.
Okay, so you would.
And kobolds don't live long enough in general to develop.
So like,
that.
so you're saying like 60 degrees.
Yeah, 60 to 80-ish, depending on again how long they've lived.
Okay. Okay, and their arm positions. Do you think the ones that are hunched, do you think the arms are just kind of dangling? Do you think they kind of curled up so that you know that
Yeah, T-Rex hands.
no, I mostly mean like okay, so I'm just right now just standing up. I'm leaning forward just a little bit.
Yeah.
Would the arms just kind of be dangling, or would they be curled so that you're basically doing the Nya Master?
They'd be curled.
Ah,
Say.
fair enough. I'm also kind of imagining that if they have nothing to do, they would just basically go fidget with their fingers like Mr. Burns. Excellent.
Believe what you want to believe.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm imagining, but I'm assuming you're more like the palms forward down.
Yep, bomb down.
Yeah.
Kinda like your velociraptors.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I can definitely imagine that too. Okay, so consider.
I did have another thing on biology actually while we're here.
Oh yeah, sure.
3 toes. Well, 4 toes or 3 toes with a claw in the back. What are you feeling here?
1 second, let me actually think about that one.
Or do we want to actually give them the velociraptor talon? Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna
For a
give
fun
them.
option.
I'm not gonna give them the Deinonychus toe.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so what I am kind of imagining.
Yep.
Is that they would the heels would be off the ground.
Yeah.
So 1 second, is the English word the ball? No wait, the ball is the heel, right? Or
Yeah.
what is the part called with the toes? The toes. Like you have the sole, the heel is in the back. There's the thing connecting the two bits.
Well, the balls of your feet is that section of your foot right before the toes.
Okay, in that case, they would. I imagine them mostly walking on the balls on their feet.
Yep. Fair.
Okay, the toes would be either kind of on the broad side or just spread out.
I'm thinking spread.
Okay, are we gonna make them webbed, or would there be?
No web.
Okay.
No need.
Okay, so balls feet stretched I'm gonna say most of the time tree toad.
Like three toe with the nail in the back, or no nail in the back.
That can depend on habitats. I can see both smooth healed and hooked healed.
I'm team hook healed, by the way, so
I'm-
I'm feeling the.
I'll be honest. I'm either or.
Alright. Preference. That's gonna be a preference thing.
Okay, so downward facing hook or upward facing hook?
I think downward.
Okay, if I had to pick a side and I would settle on team hooked heal, I would agree with downward facing hook.
Alright. Yeah. This is why we're here. What would you want to ask now?
Yeah. Okay. So, if they are in human culture, that would probably mean they have access to more types of outfits. What do you think their preferred style is? But considering we kind of established them now to be Latinos, that question is kind of
Moot. Yeah.
yeah.
Free flowing clothing usually,
Okay.
if any.
But do you think they would prefer like the colorful, or do you think they would prefer the more earth tones?
Definitely colorful. Being honest with you.
Okay, yeah, they do seem like just an indulgent bunch. Like, oh, shiny.
Dragon heritage.
Yeah.
Like they, like metallics hate chromatics, but everyone loves gold.
Yeah, fuck you, but you are rich.
Mhm.
Fuck you, but I will respect your wealth.
No, but yeah, a lot of free floating clothes. Definitely jewelry is a big thing they would love, for sure.
Okay, so, considering they would be kind of greedy little bastards, there is actually something I do imagine, even with their free-loving, well, habits.
Hmm.
I do think that. I honestly think they wouldn't just do it with everyone. They would like have to receive at least something. Like it could even be just a shiny acorn.
So prostitutes, right?
I think they're very pro prostitutes.
Oh, very, very.
Yeah,
If they are mixed.
yeah. I'm just saying, if since it's breeding, there at least has to be a little bit of an indication as to why would I spend the energy of making an egg from you, or why would I spend my energy of putting one in you?
Like
Yeah.
their only requirement is opposite gender.
Yeah,
That's their only requirement.
yeah. But I still think they would be at least have a couple standards. Like they don't really care about looks or anything.
That's what pays for, my man.
Yeah, so I honestly think that you would at least give a little offer to try and say, hey, I can provide this. Wanna have a go?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that's just my personal headcanon, but
Uh-huh.
like I said, to kind of summarize, I do think they would have a little bit of standards at least, like not just if it breeds, it breeds.
You had it backwards there.
I know what it said.
But I think you had it backwards. But anyway, again, they're not picky.
Yeah, I'm not saying high standards. I'm just saying some standards.
Well, everyone has their own. Again, that's preference, though. Everyone has.
Yeah. But that's kind of a lot of the case with the Kobolds. Like, there is ... but results may vary.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I'm kind of okay with that. One sec, let's see. We talked about biology, we talked kind of about culture. We kind of also talked about technically interspecies options.
Yeah.
We talked about potential design. Okay, so let's say in fantasy setting,
Okay.
what would what would
Sorcerer. Bard.
shitty
Anyone know?
shitty artificer?
You wanna know why I say Bard? College of Lore. Because I'm gonna drop some more shit on you real quick here, my man.
Okay.
Kobolds actually have their own language called Yip Yap. It's a pretty much a derivative, or actually the origins of Draconic, actually, but it sounds more like dog barking.
Wait, I kind of remember the story about one specific kobold that you told me. The story. Hmm? Yeah,
Pun
pun.
pun.
Yeah, pun pun.
Pun pun to God. Yeah. But that's a different thing. But they have their own language called Yip Yap, and with dragons being their own ego, creating these subservient beings, it was actually kobolds who wrote Draconic is the thing. So they are the ones. If you find any stories about dragons and all that, it originally came kobold. Because no dragon would take the time to write down their stories.
Wait.
Mhm.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Okay, that.
Kobolds wrote dragon history.
You know, when you think about it, that, just means that.
College of Lore Bards.
No, what I was gonna say. So let's say you're not a kobold, but you find a scripture of Tiamat.
Mhm.
That's just kobold fanfic.
Well, not fanfic. They actually would write down the stories of the dragons that they served, like their true stories. It might be a little changed.
Yeah, but how
Anyway,
accurate?
yeah.
We're talking about kobolds, where they try. Results may vary. How accurate?
Well,
How accurate would their scriptures be? So.
well, with dragons being of I am the hype, they don't need to embellish anything. The dragons are embellishing that shit themselves, my man.
Yeah. Oh god.
And they literally just wrote down what the dragon said. That is it.
Oh god.
And they would
It is secondhand fanfic.
pretty much, honestly, here, my man.
Not sure if I like it or love. If I like it or hate it. That fact.
I don't know if a kobold could embellish a dragon story more than the dragon could, honestly. I destroyed this whole capital. It was a small town. It was the capital.
And so Tiamat with her 9 heads. No, she means 7. I know what I said.
She had 5.
Huh.
Tiamat has 5 heads, one for every chromatic dragon.
Yeah, I was probably just thinking of a rainbow.
Yeah, you were. But other than that, yeah. Yeah, so dragons, kobolds, good. College of Lore Bard.
Okay.
Or sorcerer because of their draconic origins.
I would honestly okay. I'm gonna say majorly they would either be rogues or shitty artificers.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The one Dragonrod? Oh, definitely sorcerers.
Oh, no, they are made sorcerers, my man.
Yeah.
They're, like, usually the only ones that do use magic, so... sorcerers.
Okay, so one thing I do know about goblin culture is that booyak basically means magic.
Uh-huh.
Is there like a title for... is there a kobold equivalent of it?
Might be, because, again, their own language.
Okay, so...
Good old sensei.
Also a question. Just, let's say, any campaign, would you prefer to fight like a group of goblins or a group of kobolds?
I'd rather fight goblins, because kobolds get advantage if they're within 5 feet of you over another. Goblins don't get pack tactics.
Alright, fair
And
enough.
I don't want 8 critical hits coming at my ass, okay?
Fair enough, fair enough.
Or more. Honestly.
Okay, so... Okay, just for shits and giggles, let's say we make a 4-party... Just a 4-member party of the monster girls we discussed so far.
Mhm.
What would the setup be for either a decent or a broken party?
Set up for decent party. Alright, let me... Second thing. Get that page. All right, we got our Lamias being we got our plant folk, we have our purple undead, we have our slimes, we have our fairies. So yeah, this being our seventh topic, we don't have much choice, but that makes it a little bit easier. Lamias could definitely be either no, I can probably start with the kobold, honestly. Either being they honestly could also be clerics too. Now that I think about it, if they're serving under a dragon.
Okay, would serving on a dragon count as a cleric or more like a warlock patron?
It would be a cleric.
Okay, what domain?
Yes. Whatever the dragon decides its domain.
Okay.
You get an egoed enough dragon. Yes. That domain. But okay. So we got our plant folk, druids, very busted characters, wild shaping and all that, and they don't even need the wild shape because plant like abilities already. But druids, our plant folk will definitely be druids. Have our centaurs be either fighters or paladins, both easily broken.
Okay.
Like any class can be broken by itself.
Yeah, but I'm talking about just the party setup.
Yeah, but I would say paladin, centaur, right now. Druid, plant folk. Rogue pixie.
Okay.
Arcane trickster if you want to be but and unfortunately kobolds you don't make the cuts. But probably a sorcerer kobold though, honestly, because magic is busted.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I would go for. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go for harpy bards.
Okay.
Lamia rogues. Specifically the jungle variant.
Okay.
I'm gonna go for. You know, because you did say that. Actually, wait. Okay. 1 second. I'm just gonna start off with Lamia Rogue, Harpy Bard,
Okay.
Dryad or Plant Folk Wizard, and I'm gonna go with a. You know, Mermaid Monk.
Well, I hope you're going on on-seas adventure, but that mermaid ain't going anywhere. I would consider vampires, but there's so many things to kill the undead.
Yeah. You know, screw it. I will go with instead of the mermaid monk, I'm gonna actually go with our specifically our cowboy vampire. Honestly, it would be Mako druids. They make better rangers, but I just prefer druids.
There's just so much to kill a vampire, though. That's why they in your broken party that you want to make.
Yeah. They have a lot of strengths, but they have so many weaknesses.
Yeah, if not more weaknesses than strengths.
Yeah.
A very strong necromancer can make a vampire its servant.
Honestly, a very just molten
A
earth.
daylight spell will fuck them up.
Molten earth
Turn undead will fuck them up.
Molten earth combined with control water will fuck them up because they can't cross running water. Unless you're Astarian and have plot armor.
That
Also.
smite fucks them up. There's so much stuff that will undead up that's not even worth it usually. play undead, because you will get messed up one way or another.
Yeah, and even playing as an undead is kind of bullshit because then you have to balance the resistances that they would have. Like, sure, there's a lot that fucks them up, but there's also a lot that they would resist. So play-wise, it's kind of hard to balance them.
Not as much as you think, really.
I mean, there is.
Again, they are so easy to kill.
I do know that there's actually a handbook where there's a quote-unquote balanced, a balanced ghost race.
Not that. I know D&D came out with lineages where you can be a half vampire.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
I was actually talking about a book that I sometimes actually use the pictures from in these slideshows. And it is also kind of fitting for this specific show, the complete Waifu handbook.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm actually planning on getting. I'm actually planning on getting that, but I have a European card.
We should continue on.
Yeah, we got sidetracked massively.
Yeah, bring us back. Bring it back.
La chancla. Chancla de la Tiamat. Sorry, now I'm just imagining a reckless kobold who just thinks they're more draconic than others, bursting in. I'm the abuela now.
Nah, I just imagined this very old kobold woman just going up to a dragonborn, just smacking him with a chocolate. Dragonborn's like,
no, mijo.
Yeah.
And absolutely kicking his ass into confusion.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's what happened.
Okay, so we've got cowboy vampires, we've got Latino kobolds.
Yeah. God.
We kind of got Mediterranean harpies because I still think they would be they were more.
We have them in 2 areas, right?
Yeah, mountains and oceans.
Oh yeah. Harpies, yeah.
We kind of got bizarre Middle Eastern lamias because both jungle and
Well, yeah.
we are still debating on the centaurs.
Yeah.
Like you go.
We did those before we developed the show, so that's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So.
Like you're definitely more in tune with the Western centaurs. I still think those would actually make more sense in the East. Like I said,
we didn't really have a format when we discussed centaurs. That was just really talk. So now we actually do kind of have a sort of format going on.
Hey, but I still love what we came up with the centaur biology. Like we're moving the breast to the behind legs.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Let's see. Anything else, really? Because I feel like we've checked off most of our boxes, correct?
So, you said you had a hill, correct?
I had a few, but I don't know if they're any good, is the thing. Because there's like so much to kobolds I know about that I just don't know. You get what I mean? I'm kind of in that position where like I can do one, but it's like,
yeah,
is it worth it?
I had it with harpies. Like I really like harpies. I had a couple of hills, but I'm not sure I picked the best one.
You chose the bat hill, and I debunked that immediately.
Yeah. Like I said, I had a couple hills. I prematurely used them during just the debate. Like some of the stuff we did, I was planning on using as hill, and they would have been better as the hill I just settled on.
Well, if you want me to pull out a hill, I can pull out the hill then.
All right, pulling out your hill.
Oh boy. So this is the hill. I'm sorry, it's just like, which one do I do? Because I just want to have a good one.
Fair enough.
hate this. I hate this.
How many options are you? How many options are you debating between?
10.
Fair enough.
Like, I know they're good, but are they good? Are they cowboy vampire good, or are they bat heartbeat? You get what I mean here? This is very tough for me.
Hey, I'm okay with being the bottom line for Hills to Die on.
You gotta admit that was our weakest hill.
I'm
What was
gonna.
our weakest hill?
It is. It's definitely in our top. It's definitely in the top 3, potentially top 2.
What hill did you die on with the slimes?
Oh, that was Stitch, and I'm gonna say that one wasn't really worth remembering.
Yeah, so bottom 3. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm definitely
At
saying.
least yours left the impact.
Yeah. Mine was so bad it became. Okay, I'm not gonna go
A
there.
standard. It became so bad it's standard.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, mine's at least memorable.
Like,
Like-
sorry, I'm making so long on this.
Oh no worries. But speaking of hills, we can agree that my best one was the Plant Girl one.
Yeah,
Like, I almost had you there.
almost. Okay, I slapped you though.
It was deserved. Okay, so I
I
could just.
kind of want to do a ridiculous one just so I can get a reaction out of you too. Is the thing.
Isn't that just what the hill is for? Those were your exact words in week 3.
That's just a ridiculous statement. Do I need to believe the statement though?
Yeah, those are your exact words, motherfucker.
It's been more than a few months. Okay.
Which is
I
fair.
don't remember that.
You also went through moving, so totally fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, we can just not do a hill section this week and just have some.
I'm being honest. I don't really think there is a hill for me to die on, because I know there's like outright like I can reject other theories, but like I'm pretty accepting to other plausible theories is the thing.
Okay, I do actually have a couple of questions before the standard question at the end.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is not just a would you waifu question, but with what we discussed about both their culture, their personality, their. Okay, wait, how? Before, I'm just gonna ask one more question. Additionally, how much of their body weight do you think they eat regularly? Like, do they eat a lot or do they not eat a lot, like snakes?
I would say they don't eat a lot.
But considering they do breed a lot, I do think they do need to eat a lot.
Yeah, that's only if you're just stating an egg. That's like the only. Again, those are exceptions to everything. But when they're just normally out there, they're pretty much opportune scavengers. They eat what they get.
Okay, so would you, with all your love for goblins and all the stuff we discussed today, would
I
you?
don't love goblins. I don't love goblins.
Did I say goblins?
Yes.
My bad. With you, with all your love for kobolds and everything we discussed today, would you want to have a kobold?
Yes.
All right. Even if
There is no hesitation. It's just yes.
fair enough, fair enough. Because since you did also admit that you love them, but you do see the issues, I was just curious.
Well, everyone's gonna have their issues.
Oh yeah, but some races are just not worth having. Like that's also that's also the case with pets. Like on the one side, a husky sounds fun on paper, but if you don't have the room for it, if you don't handle loud noises well, the husky, then it's probably not the best suited dog breed for you.
Yeah, kobolds have like huskies have like their own thing and all that. Just using your example there.
Yeah, like I was just checking if kobolds were perhaps on the thing, like something you would love to have, but realistically wouldn't want to have. You know what I mean? But
As a pet or mate, I'm going to ask you in that sense of wanting one, though. What is your defined wanting one?
I'm just gonna say yes.
then I'm just gonna say yes.
Fair enough.
Okay, I think I've decided on my hill. Being honest with you.
Shall I bring back the hill?
Yeah, sure.
Rise.
I'm gonna say the hill that I'm dying on is kobolds are actually one of the smartest creatures out there for their lifespan. This thing.
Okay, so small question. Could you remind me about what their average lifespan was again? Just
Our normal kobold lifespan is between 10 to 20 years, accidents pending.
okay, 10 to 20 years. Okay, okay.
Like,
Okay, if I'm comparing it to animals that have similar lifespans, like I'm just gonna say like chimpanzees, certain birds.
some dogs, cats, yeah.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, no, they are very smart. Between their survival tactics, how they hunt, how they gather food, how they make traps. When they know the fight, they know when to fucking run away. They know who to serve and how to serve them. They know how their own dang language and how to make a whole nother language. They know they're multilingual is the thing. Most races aren't that. They have a strong learning capacity as well. They're just overall a very smart creature for their lifespan. They would be definitely smarter than any chimpanzee out there. In some cases, they are some of the most creative thinkers and makers out there. They're just overall very intelligent creatures.
Okay, I can see where you're coming from. There are some points I even agree with you on.
Yeah.
But there is also something you probably will have to agree on with me.
All right.
They, and this is not me admitting it just yet, they might be clever, but they definitely have ADHD.
Nothing wrong with that.
Genetically unweaponized, by the way, ADHD.
Oh, they'll weaponize it. I'm gonna say they will weaponize their ADHD if they could. But nah. If you give the kobold an opportunity, they can make anything.
I will say they are an adaptable bunch.
Like they I don't know how much more I can push this point. Like I've said my piece. I think they are one of the smartest creatures out there. Like they're not like telepathically smart. Like I don't even know if that you can count telepathy as smart or just a natural ability. Because you get how it's kind of correlated, but
Sometimes. I can. Okay. I'm not gonna deny that they are smart. They might be reckless. I will admit they're smart, but I'm not gonna admit they are the smartest for their lifespan.
who would be smarter? I know.
If we are.
Because definitely not goblins.
Oh no, I'm not saying goblins. Goblins might be more quote unquote cultured.
I don't know what drape culture is, but okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, culture-wise, I think goblins would be stronger with, like, quote-unquote, making a culture. Well, at least your day-to-day goblin, like, they have more of a... Okay, society was the word I was looking for, not culture. Like,
I'm going to say the only reason they didn't develop their culture more is because they didn't need to.
yes, well, I think society is the better term here.
Well, you get what I mean. They didn't need to.
Yeah,
They were perfectly happy.
I
with
agree. I agree with you. I'm just make sure we're on the same page here because culture and society are technically two different things. So
Yeah.
society-wise, I think goblins are more adepts. Not saying that kobolds needed to. I'm just saying goblins are more proficient in society, quote unquote. But okay, so with 10 to 20 years, if you compare that to other animals, there are animals with similar intelligence that have shorter lifespans. So, with the way you phrased it, like
You gotta give me an animal here to work with, man, so I can counterpoint you here.
crows, magpies.
They definitely are smarter than them. This is another call. Come on.
You getting another call?
Yeah, I don't know why I'm being bothered on my day off so much. 1 second, please. Continue on. I'll let you ponder. Here,
Okay,
get your word.
okay. Like I said, I will agree. Kobolds are, even if people don't see it in the traditional sense, they are clever, and I'm definitely gonna say one of the more ingenitive.
Ingenitive.
I feel that that word isn't correct, but the meaning is there. Like,
Who cares? We know what it is.
yeah, they're very creative, at least.
No, kobolds are just gonna be smarter than them.
I don't think smart. I just don't think smart is the correct word here. Like, it's just the phrasing I have mostly an issue with.
Well, the capacity for learning might be better for you than.
Okay, yeah, I can.
Do you agree with that one better? The capacity for learning is better than most creatures.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely okay with that one. Oh,
Yeah.
all right. It has not been your best hill, but
It's not my worst, not my best. So
yeah,
yeah.
it's an okay hill.
Yeah, again. I don't think we're going to ever get cowboy vampires again, but.
No, I mean, we got Latino kobolds, and I'm pretty happy with that one.
I'm happy with that too. Yeah. All right. I think it's time. Sign us out.
La Coboracha. All right, sorry. So, okay, so yeah, Anyways, so Blackout, on a scale of general interest from 1 to 10, how would you rate kobolds after this discussion? Has it changed?
Oh, hell no, there's still a fucking 9, my man.
All right. And on the waifu scale, has the results changed?
Well, now that we kicked their furry cousins out of the bit, solid 8, my man.
All right. Okay, so general interest for me.
8.5, honestly.
They're not fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, for me, general interest. It's of course not going to be as high as yours.
Of course. I doubt anyone's gonna.
I'm like kind of floating around the 7, like either slightly above 7, slightly below 7. It can fluctuate a little bit.
Of course.
For waifuness,
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the pictures in the slideshow is the different types of kobolds.
Yeah.
If it's the curvy type, it's gonna, of course, be kind of higher for me. But
Just aesthetics. It's just generalized, man.
I'm a biologist. Sometimes generalization actually makes a difference. Like the difference between an Asian elephant and an African elephant.
Just put your rating.
Sorry. I'm gonna say just below the 8.
Awesome.
Because like my preference is just things that are short.
Alright. Well, I believe that's all for our show today, Scamper.
Yeah. So I guess that when we ask would you waifu, your answer is gonna be yes?
Yes?
Fair.
Alright. And since kobolds are the better goblins, I'm going to give you your sense. We're talking about goblins next week. Well, next time we come back.
Okay.
Talk about goblins.
Okay.
I'll give you your chances to defend your side, since I have my chance.
Oh boy, I actually have to prepare for this one.
Yeah. Alright, sign us out.
Well, to everyone, let's first see who's here. To everyone who isn't yet, I would like to know if you would waifu a kobold. But let's rate. Well, the person who actually made my chibi art, Lady Nanaki. And to everyone who's still in chat, thanks for dropping in. Thanks for popping by. It has been fun. Did you have to breathe it right now?
Yes.
Look at its eyes, the shit it has seen. It has seen our internet history. Honestly, that is the face of my internet browser.
What happened to me?
Like,
Oh.
Scamper, sir. I prefer it when used incognito mode. Anyways.
Yeah.
Toodles.
Bye. I gotta get out of here myself.
Right.